Hi friends, in the last session we discussed that static variables, right? We discussed that static variable. So as part of completely in the last session what we discussed how to access static variables and where we can modify the value of static variable. So these two concepts we discussed as part of in the last session. So normally how to access static variable inside constructor by using self and class name, inside instance method by using either self or class name. Okay, inside class method by using self or cls variable or class name. Okay, inside class method by using this three. Inside static method by using class name. From outside of class by using either object reference or class name. Okay, from outside of the class by using either object reference or class name. And in the same way, where we can modify the value of static variable means anywhere either within the class or outside of the class we can modify by using class name. By using class name, we can modify either within the class or outside of the class. Okay, but inside the class method by using CLS variable. Inside class method by using CLS variable, right? Next. So this is nothing but where we can modify the value of static variable. Now we have to observe that how to delete static variables. Okay, how to delete. Okay, how to delete static variables of a class. To delete static variable of a class. How to delete static variables of a class. Right? So now observe the points carefully. Okay, now observe the points carefully. We can delete static variables from anywhere by using two ways. Okay, we can delete. Okay, we can delete. Okay, we can delete static variables. Okay, we can delete static variables from anywhere. Okay, we can delete static variables from anywhere by using by using by using two ways, by using following two ways. So by using following two ways. Okay, by using following two ways. Okay, first way is del of class name, del of class name dot variable name, del of class name dot variable name. Next, but inside class method. Okay, but inside class method, inside class method, we can also use a cls variable. We can also use a cls variable. Inside class method, we can also use the cls variable. But inside class method, we can also use a cls variable. Right? Del of cls dot del space cls dot variable name. Okay, del space class name means cls variable dot variable name. Okay, now observe the points carefully with respect to program. Okay, okay, observe here carefully. I'm taking a class. Okay, I'm taking a class. Okay, I'm taking a class. Inside a class, outside of method, I'm taking variable means this is nothing but what a static variable. Okay, this is nothing but what a static variable. Make sure it is static variable. So now what I'm saying here, we can delete static variables from anywhere by using following two ways. Del of class name dot variable name. So I'm saying anywhere by using following two ways. Okay. So first way is I'm declaring here one static variable. Inside constructor also I'm creating one static variable. Okay, I'm creating one static variable. Here inside constructor I'm deleting by using del. Okay, del of test dot a. Okay, test dot a. Del of test dot a. Next, inside instance method. Okay, inside instance method I'm creating static variable. Okay, inside instance method I'm creating static variable. Once creating static variable, here I'm trying to delete the value of b. Here I'm trying to delete the value of b. Here I'm trying to delete what value of b. So which is created in b in constructor. Now observe here inside class method. Okay, inside class method, cls dot d is equal to 40 I'm taking. But here I'm trying to delete the value of c which is in instance method. Okay, which is instance method as m1. Here I am deleting c. Okay, here I am deleting c. Del of test dot c. Okay, del of test dot c. Okay, next at the rate static method. Okay, at the rate static method. Test dot e. Okay, test dot e is equal to 60. Here I am trying to delete the value of d. Okay, here I am trying to delete the value of d. Okay, here I am trying to delete the value of what d. Okay, now observe the points one by one clearly. First what I am doing means class name dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore. Okay, class name dot test underscore underscore dict underscore underscore. Next I'm creating the I'm creating the object. Okay, t is equal to test. Okay, t is equal to test. So now observe the output. So observe carefully. So if you observe here, okay, observe deleting instance variable. Observe carefully. First time I didn't do anything. Okay, first time I didn't anything. I didn't do anything. Just everything is ready, but some I'm printing and I'm creating the object. Okay, I'm printing and creating the object. Okay, if you observe here in this case, if you observe here, first before object creation, I'm seeing the value of a is equal to 10. Okay, let me write the same after creating the object also. But in this case, you won't see the value of a. I'm sure you won't see the value of a. Here you are finding the value of a equal to 10. But in the second case, you are not seeing the value of a equal to 10. Are you finding anywhere a equals to 10 here? Observe. No, right? So because here the value of a is deleted. Okay, the value of a is deleted. Static variable gone deleted. Okay. So this is nothing but what deleting static variable at the constructor level. Okay. Now I'm doing the same thing at the t dot m1 method. Okay, t dot m1 method print of okay print of okay. So now you will see in the first attempt you will see the value of b equal to 20, but when this m1 method executed you will see only the value of c is equal to 30 but not b. Okay, observe carefully. Okay, if you observe here, okay, so what is the value here? P equals to 20 you will observe, but in the second attempt you won't see the value of b is equal to 20. So observe here the value of b is equal to 20, but in this case you are not seeing the value of b is equal to 20. Are you finding? Please confirm. No, right? So you are not finding the value of b is equal to 20 here. Clear? Clear, right? So next what I'm doing means t dot m2. Okay, t dot m2. Again I'm printing the value of dictionary. Now observe here when I'm executing t dot m2, okay, t dot m2, first attempt you will see the value of c. Okay, first attempt you will see the value of c. So that means here you will print, it will print the c. But when it is after executing t dot m2, okay, when it is executing t dot m2, here the value of c will be deleted, only the value of d is available. Okay, observe c is equal to 30 is available, but in the second c is equal to 30 is not available, only d is available. Did you observe this point? Confirm, right? Okay, make sure this is nothing but what, deleting static variables at a class level, I mean class method level. Okay, so next last one will be t dot m3. Okay, t dot m3. So if you observe here, okay, if you observe here, t dot m2, t dot m3. Next here d is equal to 40 is available, but in the last case d is equal to 40 is not available, because when the moment t3 method executed, here d is first attempt, here it is available, but in the test.d the value got deleted, only a is e value is available. Okay, the value of e is only available. Clear? So this is nothing but what, deleting static variables. Okay, how to delete static variables means, by using this way we can delete. Clear? So let me copy here. Okay, next. So one note, okay, one note here, it's very important. By using object reference variable, okay, by using object reference variable, by using object reference variable, by using object reference variable or self, we can read, okay, we can read static variables. Okay, we can read static variables, but we cannot modify or delete. Okay, but we cannot modify or delete. By using object reference variable or self, by using object reference variable or self, we can read the static variable, but we cannot modify or delete. Make sure 100% this is important point. By using object reference variable or self, we can read static variable, but we cannot modify or delete. Okay, be careful with that point. Next, if we are trying to modify, okay, if you are trying to modify, if you are trying to modify, then new instance, okay, then new instance will be, then new instance variable, okay, then new instance variable will be added to that object. Okay, then new instance variable will be added to that particular object, right? t1 dot a is equal to 70. T1 dot a is equal to 70. Suppose if you are trying to delete, then it will get error. Okay, if we are trying to, if we are trying to delete, if we are trying to delete, then we will get error, we will get a error. If you are trying to delete, then we will get a error. Okay, clear, right? Next, the final concept is local variables. Okay, so the final one is local variables. Local variables. Local variables. So Local variables means sometimes to meet a temporary requirements. Okay, sometimes to meet temporary requirements of programmer, we can declare variables inside method directly. Such type of variables are called local variables or temporary variables. Okay, sometimes to meet temporary, okay, temporary requirements, sometimes to meet temporary requirements of programmer, okay, programmer, we can delete, okay, we can delete, sorry, sometimes to meet the temporary requirements we can declare, okay, we can declare variables, okay, we can declare variables inside a method, okay, inside a method directly, okay, inside a method directly. such type of such type of variables, okay, such type of variables are called such type of variables are called local variables, or temporary variables, okay, temporary variables. Next point, local variables, okay, local variables will be created at the time of method execution, and destroyed, okay, and destroyed once a method completes, okay, once a method completes, okay. Local variables will be created at the time of method execution, local variables will be created at the time of method execution, and destroyed once method completes, once method completes. Local variables of method cannot be accessed from outside of class, okay. Local variables of a method, okay, local variables of a method cannot be accessed, from outside of a class, outside of method. Local variables of a method cannot be accessed from outside of method. Clear? Clear, right? So based on this theory, now I'm going to write the programs. Okay, based on this theory, now I'm going to write the program. Observe carefully. Class test I'm taking. Okay, one class I'm taking, class test. Class test I'm taking. I'm taking one instance method. Def m1 self. Def m1 self. Def m1 self. So I'm taking one variable, local variable inside instance method. Okay, inside instance method. Print a def m2. Okay, def m2 self b is equal to 2000. Print a print b, print b. Okay, clear, right? Now observe here, t is equal to test object I'm creating. Next, t dot m1, okay, t dot m1, t dot m2, t dot m1 and t dot m2. Okay, observe carefully. I'm creating a class and I'm taking two instance methods. Okay, taking two instance method and creating two variables. Okay, inside variables I'm declaring and printing. But what I'm doing here is I'm creating object, I'm calling m1 method and m2 method. So now observe here what it will give the output. Okay, now what output it will give. So 1000 and 2000 it is giving, okay, it is fine. Okay, 1000 and 2000 it is giving means it is fine. Next to my question is Okay, let me keep example one. Next example two. So now observe here in the M2 method. Okay, in the M2 method, first point read. Sometimes to meet temporary requirements of programmer, we can declare variables inside method directly. Okay, inside method directly. Such type of variables are called local variables or temporary variables. So point one is completed. So to meet sometimes temporary requirement, we can declare variables inside method. Okay, such type of variables are called the local variables or temporary variables. Okay, point number one completed. Local variables will be created at the time of method execution. Okay, local variables are created at the time of method execution and destroyed once method completes. Okay, destroyed once method completes. So observe here, whenever this one executed, so the value will be available. Once the method execution completed, the value will be destroyed. So how can you say the method is destroyed? Okay, how can you say variable value of a is destroyed means suppose here a equal to 1000 is there inside m1 method, that is instance method. So now here what I am doing means I want the value of a. Okay, I want the value of a. Print inside m2 method. Inside m2 method. Print inside m1 method. Inside m1 method. Clear, right? Inside m1 method and inside m2 method. So now observe the output based on the theory. You will say inside m1 method. Okay, fine. Inside m2 method, it is giving error. So what is the error? Name error. A is not defined. Okay, why it is saying no? A is not defined. Already here I defined, right? Then when it is defined here, it is not seeing. Okay, here only it is available. Here printing. Why it is not printing means here, second point is clearly saying local variables will be created at the time of method execution and destroyed once the method completes. Okay, local variables will be created at the time of method execution. Okay, method execution and destroyed once method completes. That means when this method execution, so the complete method execution, so the value of a is available. When this line is completed, when it is reaches to this line, so method execution destruction completed and the value of a also will be deleted for the object destroy means garbage collection. Okay, the value of a is eligible for garbage collection once the method m1 is completed. Okay, so in the m2 you are trying to get the value of a that is not available because that is available at the value of m1 a. Clear? Clear, right? So this is nothing but local variables. Okay, this is nothing but what local variables. Clear, right? If you are having any questions or queries, please post your query in the comment section or reach out to my email ID in the given description. Okay, so this is nothing but what local variables. Okay, this is nothing but what local variables. Clear, right? Thank you, friends. So today we are discussed about how to delete static variables. Okay, how to delete static variables and we learn local variables. Okay, in the next session I am going to explain another concept is nothing but what types of methods. Okay, now we observe up to now only variables, three types of variables. Now we have to observe types of methods. Okay, there are three types. One is instance method, class method, and static methods. Okay, from next session onwards we are going to observe types of methods. Okay, thank you, friends. Thanks for watching this video. If you are having any questions or queries, please post your query in the comment section. And if you are watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe. Okay, it gives me more encouragement, and I will create more videos on technical. Okay, thank you friends, thanks for watching.